Welcome to War Games. We will get you ready for your next sales opportunity. Are you looking to win the sales battle? You have joined the right team. Here on the War Games Group, we take the strategies and mindsets from the most successful salespeople and share it with you. With our help, you won't have to fail your way to the top. When it comes to crossing the minefield of sales, step in the footprints of those that crossed before you. Prepare yourself for boot camp and beyond. It's time for War Games to begin.
Shall we play a game?
Boom! Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's War Games Wednesday. So glad y'all jumped on. And everybody, I can see everybody starting to pop in now. So I want to say thank you so much for coming in. Today, I'm really excited because we have a friend of mine named Christa Pepper. Christa Pepper is one of those individuals that turned her entire life around and chose, for some reason, that fitness was important. And then that fitness, everything she learned in fitness could now be introduced into every other part of your life. And so when I looked at that, I said, wow, this is something we can all stop and say, hey, this is something we need to get through there. Look, Michelle already started. She's here throwing out the intros to say hi. So let me go ahead, grab a couple of VIPs. Desmond has his camera off, so I'm not going to add Desmond's little just icon that's there. So let's go ahead. Here's our speaker for today, Miss Christa Pepper. Netta Ingram is joining us as well. So let's do this. We'll go bigger, and I'll go, hey, Christa, switch with me. And then she'll be like, what? How did that happen? Yes, Miss Farha out in Boston is here. Welcome. So everybody's here. So Christa, you sat down and said one day you decided, hey, guess what? Life isn't the way I want it, and I want things to be better. Right?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
We can all say that we've been there. It's just whether or not we've actually fixed it. And so, right? Because again, year after year, we all set those things called, the New Year's resolution. And they say that 90% of them are gone within the first 7 days, right? Larry Schneider, welcome. There you go, Thomas. Thomas is winking at me when he says that my fitness is looking great. So, So I want to go out. Christa, you tell me, are we going to be interactive? Are we going to be talking back and forth? Do you want us to shut up? Because I have a hard time doing that. But as we go through and you start sharing with us.
Oh my gosh, please talk to me, because I literally can't handle listening to myself for 30, 40 minutes. So please, let's talk.
Yes, let's do this. So explain to me, right? So you got to that point. So I always say people get to the point where they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's just like one of the oldest cliches that's out there. Okay, Charles Coachman just joined up right there. He's with the War Games crew. We're all here. Yesenia has came in as well. She says hello. Beautiful guest speaker. I think that's you.
Thank you.
Right? They're
No,
used
I'm
to
not
me.
sure it was you.
Yeah, they're used to me. So Desmond, he said he's driving. That's why he's on down below. So for everybody who's wondering, there's Desmond. He's just a little white dot that's in there, but he is here with us. So tell me what happened. What is it that got you to say, you know what? People need to take more control of their life, and they need to be more in charge of their mindset. Is it more here? Is it more physical? What's stopping us from making the decisions that we need to make?
So for me, with my personal journey, I had over 100 pounds to lose. That's just where I was. And
that's like a 7-year-old, right?
Right? Like, yeah, literally. I think my 7-year-old does weigh about 75 pounds right now. I mean, we could bring him in and check, but yeah, I mean, there was a considerable weight that needed to be removed from my life. And, I had kids, all the things that we do, right? And as we, go through life, things just add up, that 20 pounds here, 10 pounds here, whatever. And I kept buying into programs, right? Like you're sitting there at 1 a.m. and that infomercial comes on. You're like, oh, I think this is it. Like, this is it, right? This is the moment. I'm going to buy this. I'm pretty certain at this point, I probably could have owned a Bentley or two with all of the money that I kept throwing at the problem, right? Like, this is going to be the saving grace, this program, or the mentality, the Monday mentality is what I call it. Like, on Monday, my life is going to change, right? And we all do it in all of our goals. We go to a conference, we learn all these amazing things over the weekend, and on Monday, life is going to change. And so I started to really look at the programs because I kept failing over and over and over again. I would set myself up, I'm going to start working out 7 days a week when I hadn't worked out in 7 months. It's not realistic, right? And so I started looking at a lot of the programs and the things that I was doing, trying to fix my health, so to say, and everything had the same concept. Eat your veggies, move your butt, and there's your health. That sounds great in theory.
We're skipping the first way. We're skipping the first one.
Right.
Veggie? No,
right.
No. Sandy is agreeing with you. She says she's the same way as well. So not everybody gets to interact the way I do. So I'll throw him up there that comes in.
I like it. So, We'd all be doing good if veggies tasted good.
I got to lose 100 pounds. 100 pounds, again, that's a lot. To sit back and say, I'm going to lose that, right? And so can we jump to the end of the story? You lost it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But it wasn't about eating my veggies.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad this is recorded right now for everybody else who's out there going, what? Yeah, it's not about that. But so the only reason I threw that in there is because everybody's going to come back and go, well, okay, did she lose the 100 pounds, right? I don't know. Maybe you weren't very big to begin with, but 100 pounds is 100 pounds, right? And so, again, this is someone who has done it. So we're not saying somebody who's got a plan and thinks it'll work. This is someone who's actually done it. So that's why I say I want to give everybody the initial starting point to say we're talking from a point of success. We're not talking from an idea, right? I never start anything on a Monday. Right. I literally say we don't do anything on a Monday. I don't start anything on the first of the month. Right. Because I say you're setting yourself up for failure. And I'm the never be normal guy. So when you look at that and say, hey, I'm going to go start this on the first, you go, why would you do that? Most people fail when they start on the first. Most people on a Monday fail when they do that. And you're right. Everybody goes to something over the weekend, right? And gets that 72-hour buzz that they're going to sit on and go, oh, I am strike my power pose. Woo. Yeah. And then, and you're like, but you're still the same a week later, right? You're coming back to that. So let's talk about that. So you said, hey, I got this. And then it worked. So there's gotta be something that you took from fitness and said, wow, I got it to work. I'm excited because there's no vegetables. So that's even better.
I didn't say no vegetables.
That's what I heard.
I think everybody would be doing great if vegetables tasted like bacon and chocolate. We'd all be really, healthy at that point. But yeah, there's still veggies.
It's all about the bacon. Yes. So, okay. So then what did you have to do? Is this like, I had to retrain my brain? Is this something where you said, if I do these 5 things, I saw a difference, and then I just did the 5 things over and over again? What is it that you said, boom, this works?
So first I looked at all the things that I had been doing. You kind of have to look at yourself objectively, right? You have to look at the processes that you've done. That's the whole definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Well, what is it that I've done that hasn't gotten me the results? What I was buying into was always the same thing. Eat your veggies, move your butt, and there you go. That wasn't it. It was when I came home from work, I went immediately to the refrigerator. It was, do I actually deserve this? What's going on up in here and here? I always tell everybody, this is hard work, and your hard work isn't how big of a weight you're lifting. It's the heart work that's the hardest part of this process. If you have weight to lose, sometimes for us, that physical weight is a manifestation of internal weight as well. And until you can get straight with yourself and really get through some of that crap internally, you're going to keep playing on the roller coaster. So for me, it was really learning to get into those habits and really figuring out tuning back in. And that was my whole problem with the fitness industry and why I became a trainer, because everybody was preaching the same thing. And nobody was talking about these habits. Nobody was talking about the internal work that needed to be done so you could have sustainable results, because the fitness industry is a billion-dollar industry, multi-billion-dollar industry. They don't make money on your success. They make money on you coming back.
True that. Yes. I would say almost every industry that's out there is counting on the failure.
Absolutely.
Right? I always say a psychiatrist doesn't really want you to get better. Then you stop coming. Right. And so it's like, no, come back, lay down on the couch again, and let's talk about something. Right. And come in. And so even your doctor doesn't necessarily want you to be all that much better. I know the insurance companies are like, we need you to keep paying your deductibles and stuff like that. But so Michelle said she loved that one. And Scott Ricard said good afternoon, but he's just in incognito mode right now.
That's all right. We get that.
But, yeah, we're going to let it go. Okay. So you sat down, said, I got to change inside and you got to change the habits. So are you telling me our habits are the part that's kicking our ass?
Absolutely.
Right? When it comes to
let me ask you this. When you got dressed today, did you put your right foot in your pants today first or your left foot? Do you know? Off the top of your head. It's one of those things you do without thinking about it. Right? Like you go to leave your house, you know where your keys are, you know where your shoes are, you know how to put the car into, drive. How many steps do you take in order to make that happen?
Sometimes I actually hold my pants and jump in with both legs at the same time.
I like it. Hopefully they're stretchy.
Yeah. But yeah, I was going to say, for me, it's definitely that way. The keys are in the same spot every day. The shoes are in the same spot. All the stuff that I have is going to be there because to me, I think it just makes life easier. Right? Because it doesn't take the thought process of saying, let's go find that. Right. This morning was like, should I make something to eat or not? Because I'm okay with not eating until 2-3 in the afternoon. Right. That's something. And I go, that's intermittent fasting. I did it for years. and now all of a sudden people are like, you understand that's a way to do things. And I'm like, awesome. I did it that way just because I didn't feel like eating, but okay.
Right.
But,
setting the trend early.
All the way up till midnight. that was the issue. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go eat all the way up to midnight with no vegetables. So,
but that's the thing though, is you have all these automatic habits and we do all these things without thought process because our brain needs us to do them without thought process. So we have good habits and we have bad habits.
Okay. How do I make a better habit? Because again, this is going to be more than fitness. So just so everybody's out there going, we're talking about fitness, but I like being fat. Leave me alone. Right. We're talking about business. We're talking about life. This is across the gamut, right? Good habits mean you get good results. Bad habits give you bad results. And that's how we're going to play this game. So, but talk to me about how do I define whether something's good or bad? How do I go and jump in and say, this is something I need to change?
Well, first, I think you need to set your goals, right? You need to set your goals first and foremost. What are your goals? What is it that you're working towards? Then you need to go in deeper with your goals. Writing down, I want to be a millionaire sounds great and all, but how are we getting there? What does that look like? And then you can look at your day-to-day habits. What am I doing that actually supports me getting to this goal? If I'm saying I want to lose 100 pounds and then I'm sitting down on my couch, mindlessly eating a whole bag of M&Ms, is that habit supporting me, getting me to my goal? I'm obviously, like you said, I'm getting something out of it. We all do things as a reward on some level, but do the habits I have, are they supporting where I'm trying to go? Do I have those daily habits of creating those phone calls, of wishing people happy birthday on social media to create those relationships, to grow my business? Those daily habits, I personally have 5 things I do every day without fail. They are my non-negotiables. This is what's going on. That's it, period. Life does not begin until those 5 things are done. That's what works for me. But you have to first start your goals.
Before you leave the bedroom? Is that something before you leave the house? That's something just has to be done before noon, right? I'm just looking for more of the plan, right? So
no, absolutely. No, absolutely. I have to do those 5 things before I start my work day.
Okay.
Is how I look at it. Those are certain things that help me move my business forward. They are the things that help me move my health and my fitness forward, because those are the things that I've associated as my goals. Everybody else might have a goal that's, I'm making X amount of money. I'm working on my marriage. There's all these other goals. So what can you do first thing in the morning? That's why that whole thing, make your bed, right? Make your bed first thing in the morning, because then you've accomplished something. You've already put that into your brain, like, I've accomplished something. So for me, there's those 5 non-negotiables that happen before I start my workday, because guess what? No matter what happens, because life happens, I've done what I need to do.
I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so the 5 non-negotiables, things that you do before you start the day, do you enjoy them? Or is it something you've said, I'm going to do whether I enjoy it or not? Like, I should get up in the morning and go for a walk, but I hate doing that. I really hate going for a walk. Is the things that you have set aside that these are your non-negotiable things you enjoy, or things that whether you enjoy or not, you'll do?
Both. And I say that because of the fact that I don't like to get up early in the morning and work out either. Like, let me sleep. But on a personal level, after I've worked out, I've built that confidence in myself of, I did what I said I was going to do because I said I was going to do it. And guess what? I feel better afterwards. So I do enjoy it. And I also look at it from that emotional side as well. Getting up and doing like your social media posts, or, making your phone calls or whatever. You may or may not enjoy it at that moment, but you're also increasing the awareness of the emotions that you're getting from actually accomplishing that task.
Okay. And fitness being such a big deal these days, there's so many people thinking about, what do I eat? What do I for their exercise and activities and what have you. Do you feel that since you have lost the weight, doors are opening better for you? You have better opportunities. You can express what this did for you and teach other people to do it?
Can you get through doors easier? Is that what she asked?
I actually took a picture when I flew the last time of my seatbelt, and I was like, there's extra length here. This is amazing. So doorways are a thing. No.
Welcome, Ms. Gideon.
So to answer your question, honestly, I launched my business when I was 275 pounds.
Wow.
My business started at the very start of my journey because of the fact that I didn't want people to think it was a turnaround thing. Like, you can't be present while going through the progress.
Okay.
So I actually started my business when I was morbidly obese. I hate using that term, but is the technical term. And I wanted to share it with people. And at that point, a lot of people were actually still coming to me because they were like, you get it. Like, you totally know what I'm going through. And so it did open up a lot of doors as far as that goes, because I understand the struggle. Like I said, like, I was eating my M&Ms last night and I posted about it. Like, I'm going to be, I want you to know that whether you're 120 pounds or 275 pounds, this journey starts at day 1 with baby steps. And it's okay to not be where you need to be, where you want to be. You need to take pride in the steps that you're already taking and celebrate those.
Good. I like that. So you didn't have to wait until I lose the weight before I start the business. I'm going to start it now, right now, jump in, do it. Great. Good for you.
Absolutely.
Yesenia has the same question I have. I was like, someone's going to ask it sooner or later, but what are the 5 non-negotiables? Right? That's what we're going to look at. Yeah. And don't be intimidated. Former fitness model Sherry Gideons is the one that just joined in as we go
Hi,
through.
Sherry. It's good to see you.
Oh, girl, I love what you are sharing, because that was my journey. I came up obese as well, and came up with those same feelings, and started out my personal training business in the 90s at 197 pounds after I had recovered from an experience trying to be perfect, trying to be beautiful, trying to fit in. And so what you're sharing is just everything that I followed through with my hero's journey. And it was those little things where you said, And every day, in every way, I'm going to get better and better, as corny as it sounds, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it's true, right? We always have this mentality of, I will love myself when, right? Or I will respect myself when I make that $1 million or when. And it's always about that. And I think for our own confidence to be able to get to the when, we need to celebrate the now.
Yep.
Perfect.
All right.
I'm
You
going
want my
back to
five?
I'm going back to it. What are the 5 non-negotiables?
Okay, so we got to do our walk or our workout. We've got to do our social media growth strategy, because that is where I work most of my business. I also have to make sure that I am checking in with my clients first thing. I also make sure to drink my water first thing. This is where we talk about habit stacking and creating habits that support you. What I do is I put my cup of water in my coffee pot. So that way in the morning when I go to make my coffee, I have to physically pull that cup of water out and drink it.
Very nice.
And then, of course, make your bed. It's an old one and it's a good one. But at the end of the day, the beginning of the day, I know I've accomplished the things that I need to accomplish.
And so you technically we're rope-a-doping our brain into already starting the day with a win, right? Because
Absolutely.
again, the make the bed thing I get, and it's like, yes, and I watched that military guy give the little speech on why you're supposed to do it, and I was
We've
like,
all seen it.
okay,
Yep.
yeah, okay, I get it. Yes, all right. I'm a
Yes.
piece of crap if I don't make my bed. I get it, right? And so, but yeah, I do that too. But so the forcing the water cup in the coffee pot, right? Which means you had to last night think about it.
Yes.
Right. So it's effectively going through your entire day. The fact that you're forcing the habit until it becomes the habit. But now the habit is really putting the water cup in the coffee pot, right? Instead of it being, I got to make coffee, because that was the habit that was already there. So
Absolutely.
yes. So is that you're stacking, you're double up on going, if I'm going to go do this, I might as well throw this in the middle of it and go there. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, because we all have our habits in place. And so often when we decide we're going to change our lives, we want to take away things. We want to quit things, right? I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to quit this. I'm going to quit being a procrastinator, like whatever it is, right?
I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. I'm good at that. That'll be tomorrow, maybe next week, or how about, the first, but we're really good at that. So what we do though is we ultimately set ourselves up because we aren't paying attention to the habits that we've already created that we can leverage for our successes. It's so much easier just to add something in than it is to completely remove something from your life. So if you go for a walk every day per se, I know, Joe, you go for a walk, I think pretty much every day, or you were for a while. I was seeing them on your Instagram. Yeah.
I haven't been chasing ducks lately. No.
That's sad. That's sad. Chasing ducks looks fun. But I mean, how hard is it? You're already out on a walk. How hard would it be to add an extra 5 minutes to that walk? There's a benefit to that. You're already in the habit of doing that. Let's just add something more to it to make it even more beneficial to reaching your goals.
True. Makes sense. Okay. So now one of the things, like I do a training, I think I did it in January, on how to set the right kind of goals. So I'm interested in saying, because again, we all learn. So what are the goals that you're setting? How do you set them? Is there a process that we go through to say, this is how you set a goal? Because I can tell you, yeah, I'm going to go work out 6 days a week. You can set that goal, but like you said, if I haven't done it, right? If I haven't done 1 day a week, why am I saying 6 days?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I'm setting myself up to fail, right? And I think a lot of people set goals so lofty, right? Which in turn just means I can't get there. So I'm setting myself up for the let me be upset thing, right? And I'm going to go, well, I can't get there, so let's just not do it, right?
Right. Right. And, it's funny. You mentioned that you did that because you and I talked about what we were going to talk about today. And I saw that you had done that. So I actually went back and watched that video yesterday. So I was like, oh, cool. Because I didn't want to overlap information or whatnot. So, you totally nailed it. We need SMART goals for sure. We got to get specific. We got to make sure they're measurable. We have to do that framework. I try to stick with smarter goals. Okay. So we've got our smart goals. Yeah, we're gonna get smarter.
Nice.
Right.
So I can be geniuser.
Yes. Geniuser. I like that. Can we make that a shirt? I'm a geniuser.
I like it.
But what we need to do, right? Like we set these goals. I'm going to be, making X amount of money by X day. And that sounds great. It's attainable, it's measurable, all those things. One of the things I work through with my clients is the emotions that are attached to that, right? We make our goals and then we go and we make a vision board, right? We all have vision boards, right? For the most part, or we've done it at least once or twice or 5 times in our lives, right? And you cut out these pictures of, here's my, G-Wagon and that's going on there. Here's my house on the lake. That's going on there. Great things, right? Whatever it is. But have you ever sat and looked at that and gone, how does that make me feel? How do I want to feel in that? So if it's my car, right? My dream car, that's the goal, right? How do I want to feel driving around in that car? Is it a feeling of luxury? Is it a feeling of power? What is the feeling that's behind that goal? What is the emotion that you're trying to reach, right? I can tell you I want to lose 100 pounds. Why? Well, because I need to. But why do I need to? What is the emotion that I'm trying to get to? And this goes back to that saying of I'll love myself when. And why I hate that, because you need to learn to live now. So if you're driving around and you're like that, the G-Wagon is up on my vision board, like that's my car, or the Dodge Viper, or the house, or, the 100 pounds. What do you want to feel when you get there? Put yourself in that space. Come up with the word that describes that, right? So like I said, powerful. We'll go with powerful. So what can you do today, right now in this moment, to take back that feeling, to feel powerful? What can you do today? Is that making that sales phone call? Is that, taking on a client that you're like nervous to take on? Is that saying no to the double cheeseburger that somebody's serving you? How do you take back that power and feel powerful today? Not tomorrow, not when, but today. So you have to get to the E of the emotions of it.
Okay.
Is one of them.
Okay. So I just wrote down, attach the emotion to the achieved goal. Right.
Absolutely.
So that's the as if it's there. I'm feeling it. Right. And so like I'm the person doesn't say I don't say act as if. I say believe until you achieve. Right. I don't say fake it till you make it kind of deal. But you're saying at the end, what does it feel like? So technically you're telling your brain and body that this is how, and I'll take Sherry's word, vibration, right? This is how I vibe at that point in time when I have it. So then it can come to me because of the fact that I'm vibing at the end result to get it there. And this works business, works health, works no matter what it is, right? So again, you want your next client. How are you going to feel when that next client signs with you? Right. And the payment processes and all the stuff that comes in, that stuff. So
yeah, absolutely. And like Sherry talks about with your vibe and everything else, if I'm wanting to feel powerful and I have figured out a way to show up today feeling powerful, the law of attraction and everything else, your frequency and the vibration that you're putting out there is going to be reciprocated. Like the universe is going to notice.
Got it. I'm with you. All right. So we got SMART E goal now.
Yes. And so I actually will write down, those, I try to stick to about 5 or 7 of those emotions when I'm looking at like my goals and my vision board. 5 or 7 of them is all. And I will write them just at the top of my day planner every day, just so I have that remembrance of like, If what I'm doing right now, does it make me feel powerful? No, it makes me feel weak. Okay, so maybe this isn't something I should be focusing on, right? I want to stand in that power. So what am I going to do today to make that power happen?
Got it.
And then the
So are you
R's.
writing the goal? Are you writing that goal every day at the top of your planner? Or are you writing the emotion?
I just
for the
write the
goal?
emotions every day at the top of my planner, just as that reiteration. I have my goals posted on my wall, and I have my little sheet that I keep in my day planner. And, sometimes, if I'm like really stuck on a specific goal, I'll actually create it and put it on my phone, as my background, is because we're all on our phones all the time, every day. And I'll sit there, and as soon as you see your phone, you've got your goals sitting right there. And there's definitely different ways where you can leverage that visibility of that. And you can even go so far as, if you've got like those goals or those list of emotions that you're trying to create, you can go so far as to do affirmations while you're brushing your teeth. That's one of my favorite times, by the way. To do like that mental shift is, again, I'm already doing something. It's a mindless task because it's a habit. So how can I leverage that towards creating the life I want to live? So, write your affirmations on your mirror. I have, and do those emotions, go through those emotions. Today, I want to feel X, Y, Z. And then you can get your brain thinking, what am I going to do today to create X, Y, Z?
Got it. I like that, because that to me is better, because I fight with affirmations all the time. Right. I'm sure Sherry will know that too. But with me, I always laugh and say, if I tell you, go ahead and do your affirmation of I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, your brain will show you 4 to 5 reasons why you're not the second you say it. Right.
Absolutely.
And so I'm one of those people. I'm like, no, give it something to program to. Like you said, I'm going to be feeling these emotions today. So it can find it, and your brain can go check, check, check. Let's go. Right?
Absolutely. And you reprogram that into your brain, and then you start recreating those neurological pathways that are going to help you stop fighting yourself and actually make shit happen.
I like it. I'm not the only one cussing. Just so you know.
Right? Yeah, no.
But, okay, so I'm attaching the feeling. So I took my SMART goals, which was the same SMART that Joe put together. You got the E, which you're adding the emotion to, right? And what's your R?
So we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story that I was talking to one of my clients yesterday about her fitness goals and what she was working towards, right? And I'm like, okay, so what's your goal weight? And she's like, well, originally it was 128 pounds. And I'm like, okay, cool. She goes, but then I decided, with my body and everything else, and this was like a 30-minute conversation, by the way, I would like to be at 150 pounds. I think that might have been a more realistic goal. Cool. Right on. Well, I got on that scale, a new scale, and it tells me I should weigh 132 pounds. Okay. Well, now I think maybe my normal goal of 128 was okay. Okay, cool. Like, we're working through this. That's totally fine. So let me ask you this. How many pounds do we need to lose to get to 128 pounds? 165 pounds. Okay. Wow. Is it really relevant, that would be our R, to be finagling over 132 pounds versus 128 pounds when we've got 165 to go, right?
Right.
We have to keep our goals relevant. I can't tell you, like, let's go to the gym, like we were talking about. I'm going to start working out 7 days a week, even though I haven't moved my butt in 7 months. Is that really relevant to my life? No. Right. I have 4 kids at home. I work from home. I do this, I do that, right? We all got all these things that we juggle. Is going to the gym for 2-hour sessions 4 times a week feasible and relevant to my life? No. So let's really get honest. And again, it goes back to that. You're got to do the internal work. You're going to have to face yourself. You're going to have to be honest. And it's ugly. It's really, really ugly. And you have to get deep with yourself. One of my favorite things to do is the 7 levels deep. I want to do X, Y, Z. Well, why do you want to do that? Because I want this. Well, why do I want this? And keep going. You have to get into that emotional state. We are emotional people. Writing down these far off goals is not going to get you anywhere. Those emotions, you can be relevant to who you are, as a person, where you are in your life. And then you can truly break free and have that success.
Fantastic. Okay. I like that because I was saying the same thing. When you said 132, 120, I was like, that's noise.
Yes.
Right. That's like I went to Taco Bell. I can lose that if I want to. Right. By the time you look and go, it's 165 pounds, and we're gonna squabble about this whole. Hey, there's 4 pounds different. Which one should I be? Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Like,
right.
Hey, can we see 10 pounds down from now before we worry about the last 4? Yeah.
Exactly. And thankfully she's like, my best friend, so I could smack her around a little be like, this ain't cool. Like, this isn't, we got to work a little bit differently. I'm not worried about those 4 pounds. And again, that goes back to celebrating now versus the when, because there's a good chance she might get to that 150 pounds and go, wow, forget that nonsense. I don't want the 128 pounds. So all this time, she's not really in tune with what's happening today, taking control of today, tuning into those emotions of today, and doing those actions.
Got it. That's perfect. Okay. So what I've gotten so far when we look at this, right? So I got to attach the feeling to the outcome when I'm setting my goal, right? I love the 7 why, right? So I had Steve Sims on a little while ago, and he was like, you got to ask why 5 times.
Yes.
Right. And he said, so when somebody says, this is what I want, right? He's the guy that people give him hundreds of thousands of dollars to make something happen. And then he says, okay, well, why do you want to do this? And they're like, well, because this. And he goes, why? And then when you find the real reason, you can actually deliver the experience at the level that they're going to actually feel that they've gotten their money's worth. So now you're saying go 7 levels deep into why is it you're chasing that goal, right?
Absolutely.
And why do you want to feel that way? Why do you need this? And what is there? And that makes sense. Okay, perfect. And I love the fact that we added the emotion, we added the relevant, right? How to get relevant to what it is that's there, and also realistically setting the goal that makes sense to what you're doing. Right.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, one of the things I like to do is if you look and say, this person says 150 pounds to lose, right? That is daunting, right? That is just, that's literally like a grown adult you're losing.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and again, to me, if you look and say, I want to lose this much weight, we've already said it to ourselves that we're losing. Right. And so we're already setting ourselves up for the feeling of loss instead of the win, because, I removed this much weight from my skeleton kind of deal. And so it's a desire to get to a weight as opposed to losing something. Right. What am I gaining? The health. I'm gaining the ability to get out of bed without being winded. Right. Yeah. I'm able to walk around the lake 2 times today because I've lost weight. And so, but to break it down and say, what can I do today to put me towards that? Right. That makes it, again, can you worry about today? Right. That's what I'm listening to. Can I worry about today?
Yeah.
Not about the end of my goal at 90 days. Can I worry about today and what I have to do today and make the right decisions and put the right habits in place for today?
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. And that's the thing is, like you said, like, I don't want to be winded when I, get out of bed, or for those of, us that are speakers, you go to these events and that takes a lot of stamina. How do you want to feel when you're up there, when you're doing those things? Is that freedom? Do you want to feel freedom? Do you want to feel strong? What can I do today to feel strong? Well, I could go do a couple push-ups, right? And then I've done that. I have accomplished that. I personally feel strong today. And that way, when you get to there, you're good. You already know that feeling. You can already celebrate those successes. And you're just going to be like, all right, well, the weight was just the side piece of that.
That makes sense. So, and what I like to do too, like you said, so I've done this, so now I feel strong, right? I'll tell you, if I did 2 push-ups, I'd feel pretty weak. But I'd be like, how did I not be able to get 2? I had to do it on my knees. Yeah.
Right.
But the clarity of things that we always look at, right? I say, I look at my youngest son, okay, the baby. when he was little, I used to tell him all the time, I said, you don't understand, because we're Ingrams, right? Money comes to us frequently and easily, right? And he was like, oh, money comes to us frequently and easily. That kid spotted $20 bills, $100 bills, $50 bills on the ground, right? He's over there and he'll be like, Dad, look at this. And I'm like, what? Right? And so, and I'm over there looking down, I'm like, hey, there's a nickel. Woo-hoo! Right? And my brain goes, check. That came to us quickly and easily, didn't it? And I'm like, no, that's not it. That's not it. So Ron Siegel, everyone's talking about you and losing 150 pounds. There's absolutely. Ron Siegel was your friend, right, Christa? That's what you were saying? Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the friend that she was talking about that didn't want to do anything and trying to fight over the last 4 pounds. So, okay, so you've got your non-negotiables. So I'm going to challenge everybody that's out here that's listening today and watching on the replays, because we get a lot of replays. When you go back through and look at this, I want you to come up with some non-negotiables that have to be done before you start your day. And what is the non-negotiable? Put it down, write it out, and go back, attach the emotion to what it is that's there, right? And then make sure it's relevant. And the other R, which is it realistically achievable for you to do?
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, think about it. There's people that wake up in the morning and go, if I don't make 100 grand today, I don't know what I'm going to do. Right. And there's somebody else going, man, I need to make 25 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so you need to understand everybody's across the gamut, but are you waking up with the intention to make what you need to make? Right. If you really need $25, don't be saying I need to make 100 grand today. Right. And there's other people out there that will teach you that and go set the goal so lofty and so big that if you miss the moon, you land in the stars. And you're like, okay, great. So that means I don't get it. Did you have enough fuel to get to the moon or not? I don't know. But
it's a valid question.
You did not plan well. Yes. And so that's what I look at. But no. So I love that. And I'll recap because Yesenia asked it too, right? So you walk, you do your social media reach out, your client check in, you drink your water that's on your coffee pot to make sure that you drink the caffeinated water later, right? And make your bed. Those things, then you decide you're going to say, my day is allowed to start.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing is you don't judge yourself either, because like I said, you could go do 2 push-ups to feel quote unquote stronger if that's the emotion. If that's where you're starting, then go do it. And kick ass at it and feel like you've accomplished something. Start where you're at.
No, I love that. That makes perfect sense. So now one of the things that I've done myself. So for me, right, both Ned and I have this app that we get tired of getting kicked off of because it says you lost your streak, right? But it's called Headway. And it reads the little captions out of books. So to read you a certain amount of chapters. So I have a goal for 20 minutes a day. Now, for me, like you did, I just didn't do it with I'll be listening to a book when I brush my teeth, but I do it when I shower, right? I'm like, if you get in the shower, if you think you aren't thinking at all when you're in the shower, you're just going through the same process, lather, rinse, repeat, right? That's what you're doing when you're in the shower. So to me, I'm like, I put the book up on the top, I put my phone up top, and I'm going to be listening to it, right? So then I got out of the shower today and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to capture this information. Right. And one of the things I got today that's going to be an Instagram post later, because I just created it on Canva. Yeah. Was 33% of high school graduates never read another book for the rest of their life.
Oh, wow.
What?
1/3 of all the people that you graduated with out of high school do not read another book for the rest of their life. They read the book because they were required to in school. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't read books in school. So I'm like, I did the opposite. Now I read a lot of books, but it's like, I listen to a lot of books. Right. So, and Ron Siegel, everybody has an idea of what Joe is doing in the shower, right? Whether you wanted to know or not. But that's what I look at and say to you guys. Right. So, I mean, I'm out there and I'm like, leaders are readers. So if you want to be a leader, you got to be reading. You got to be doing better. This book today was telling us going, you know what? You need to be making yourself better every day. right? And so, and again, we can go back to every cliche we've ever heard. If you're not growing, you're dying, right? If you're not green, right, you know, then you're brown and dying. It's the same thing. Grass is greener here. We can come up with any.
I froze here.
I see you. I think Joe
Thing
froze.
we want to come up with. I'm just saying,
Okay.
Are you investing in yourself every day? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's frozen.
I know.
I think
And
so.
upgraded internet, high-speed internet in the office.
I feel like this has been my week with technology. I'm like, is Mercury out of retrograde yet?
Just today it is. I had the same thing happen to me on my show earlier. I couldn't get on for a half hour.
It's so crazy. You just kind of like go with it. You're like, well, here we are, right? We're so reliant on our technology that this is just part of the process.
Well, the moon, you know what the moon in Gemini is asking us? It's asking us not to react. It's asking us to use our communication in a way that serves us.
I love that.
Isn't it? I love it too.
Right? We're just go with this.
We just go with the flow.
Yeah, somebody just kicked me out. No, I'm sitting here and all of a sudden everything goes black and little swirly marks. I'm like, well, hopefully they're still on because I have no internet at all. So I may be blurry at this point because I switched back to the other router on the other side. But no. So I want to say thank you. I appreciate you jumping in, Sherry, and making sure nobody's just staring at each other as we go through. But Ron Siegel did ask, what did Netta do to me? Right? Because as soon as I left the screen, I looked much better. Yes, that's the easy way to lose 100 pounds. And now I lost weight. So perfect. Now, Miss Christa Pepper, how do people find you? Besides, you're in the group. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I'm in the group with you guys. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram as the Christa Pepper. Apparently my name was really popular. So, so now I get to be the Christa Pepper.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm always available in my DMs. I'm here to help and support anybody. You know, the journey is hard no matter what goals you're working towards. And I truly believe that, you know, we get by with help from our friends. And so I'm grateful to be here with you guys today because it's how we make things happen, is the accountability and our friends, you know, being there for us. So
Perfect. I was muted just because I had to pull up the other screen. But now, for all of you that understand, before she gets her day started, she's going to be checking the DMs. So if you want to talk to her, you know, in the morning, one of her things was social media check-ins, right? So she's going to get out there and do that. So make sure you'll see her interacting with you during the morning time more than later on. But
yes, hold me accountable to my goals too, please.
But no, I would say jump out, follow her. Now, you also sent me the goal setting success workbook sheets, right?
Yeah.
To me, it's so awesome because she came up with it and she said, I said, yeah, you can do this. She goes, we can give this away, but I just wanted you guys to see it. Right. So look at this. She did pink camouflage just for War Games. Isn't that awesome?
All my branding is pink. So I was like, ooh.
She said, I'm going to change it from pink. I'm like, pink camo works. And she's like, I can find pink camouflage. Right. So I will make this available in the group. I would also tell you guys, hey, reach out to her, find out what it is you need help with, and talk to Christa about it and see how she can help you. So she's a value add in the community, but she's only, and this is one of the things I really want everybody to understand. And I talk about it a lot, but if you realize that the introduction of Christa to all of you that are watching, right, has been made. Okay. It's up to you to continue if there is a relationship or an interaction. Does that make sense? It's not, well, wait for her to come back in and talk on a War Games again. That's not it. So Steve Sims was on my show from 3 years ago when I met him at a Bob Donnell Next Level by Association dinner. Right? I met him there, and for 3 years we have played social media, friends back and forth. So, and again, it got to the point, I'm like, hey, Steve, you want to do it? He's like, absolutely, Joe. Right? We do his virtual happy hours. We do stuff like that because, again, we connected on that level and stayed connected. And that's up to you guys to reach out and keep the connection going. So it's up to you. But I want to say thank you, Christa Pepper. Thank you to my VIPs that are on the screen. For those of you that want it in the group, you will find it. If you don't, reach out to Christa and say, hey, send me your goal sheet in a DM and let her reach out to you. But I would strongly suggest you guys go in there and enjoy Christa's wisdom that she's gone through and done. So Farha said thank you. She's going that way. Charles is right. Joe's been digging the paint. So, and then Charles is singing. A little help from my friends. So it's all here. Guys, thank you so much. It is Wednesday. We are done. War Games is over. So I'm going to tell you the same thing that I tell you every week, right? Go out and sell something. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.